Hey there guys, DMO73 here, bringing you the deck profile for the Blended Pricia list that you saw Paul run. So the whole point of the idea, if you haven't been looking at competitive lists, is there's these kind of two mindsets for Pricia, which is the spinning myths with Izanagi and like rewriting laws, and there's also the Jack Giant variant with like Mariabellas and stuff. And I decided to give this a try and play both in a way that involving the sideboard that would work. So you could kind of this deck kind of heavily relies on his sideboard, so you kind of pull out cards in games 2 and game 3 that don't work, and then you replace them for that matchup, and then you replace them with the other Pricia stuff that works for that matchup, shoring up your games 2 and game 3. This also has a really fast turnaround rate for game 1, when you can like figure out what you don't need, and so you can kind of turn the corner and play the strategy that works best for that matchup in game 1. So we have Pricia obviously is our ruler. Judgment of green-red energizes for green or red, has her resonances for swiftness and flying, both very relevant for both both effects. Flips over into our 10/10, cycles a stone or cycles a creature. Those are both really relevant. Cycling a stone is typically how we go for the OTK, because Pricia can just do that, whereas cycling a creature with Hydromonica is how we get into our big combo pieces, an additional way to get into our big combo pieces. And then she can God Art for green and red if you hit a wind and a fire magic stone this turn, which means if you hit a green-red stone, it counts for both. And she untaps, and she gains swiftness and flying, and all Resonators you control until the end of the turn, even ones that come in after you activate it, gain swiftness and flying. This is very relevant, especially when you're considering like swinging to, like you God's Art and then swing again and then cycle into a new creature, or like swing in and that kind of stuff, and like swing in with a, like play her and then play Jack, and then swing in with the Jack, trigger, spring in the Giant, swing with the Giant. Like you can put a lot of damage on board with this God Art. Very, very strong. Moving into the stone base, we run 4 of her Memorias of Reincarnation. This card is amazing for her. It counts as a green-red, as a fire and a wind, so red double resonance, and when it goes to anywhere other than, like when it leaves the field, so it goes to the bottom of the stone deck, goes to the graveyard or whatever, you just get to draw a card. So it also helps with draw power, which is amazing. And then we play 4 of Blasting Waves, because there's no reason not to. We need the green-red stones. And then our other 2 stones are a Heat Ray and a Gusting Skies. Now the reason we play these is because we want to be able to hardcast Izanagi, and Izanagi is a double white. So if games go long, we want to be able to cast him, as well as we play 1 of each instead of just like 2 of 1, so that we always have guaranteed God's Art, because we'll always flip into 1 and then the other and all kinds of stuff. So moving into the Resonator base, pretty standard for a Pricia list. We run 4 Sacred Elves to help with the OTK and ramp us up into Spinning Myths and Jack Giant. 3 Tama for additional draw power. I also really like this card to deal with Turbo Feasting to like disrupt their plays, as well as Fox. 4 Guinevere for additional draw power as well, and you can use her pump effect is actually pretty relevant. Sometimes you need it to close out games. 3 Fiery Fox, typically not played in the Myth variant, typically played in the Jack Giant variant, to give extra resonance, help you ramp a little bit faster, works really well with Mariabella. I really like this card a lot. I think this is much better, provides a lot more utility, plus it's a body, so it can be a threat over a rewriting laws. Then we play 2 of Jack to help get our Giant out. Just, you know, he's good. I mean, you play him, you call a stone, he's swiftness flying, suddenly you have a 17 that can't be targeted by spells, so really good. A 1 of Frigg to help us recycle if games get a little long, especially our wind-secluded refuges. Plus she's a myth, which is awesome. 4 Izanagi to go along with the spinning myths. Obviously, we can also flip into him, which is very, very nice. With a Hydromonica, steal Regalia, steal Resonators, have a large body, and with spinning myths you'll torrent, get a stone, and suddenly he's super fast and strong. And then 2 Giants. We play 2 because we don't want to draw into 1 and then have Jack be dead. So we want the 2. And there have been games where I have gotten both out on the field at the same time, and it just feels pretty much like it's over. So very, very strong card. Plus he has Precision, which is excellent. Moving into the spell base, we play one of Keen Sense. Really, we play more in the sideboard, but we play the one of. It helps in mirrors to be able to cancel their spinning myths, as well as being able to pop face down, so maybe like a Prison in the Lunar Lake. 3 spinning myths to go along with the Izanakis and the Frigs. You might ask why we're not playing 4. Well, this was a card that I was able to cut to make room for the second package, plus with Hydromonica, we have another way to bring them out anyway. And then 2 wind-secluded refuges to help protect Pricia and things like Izanaki and Jack Giant from Bedivere. Regalia lineup, we play 3 Hydro, helps with consistency, as well as being able to flip into a big Resonator if we need it. 4 Death Scythe to turn on the OTK, as well as turn off my opponent's OTK. And then 4 Levitine, once again, to enable my OTK and do the swiftness shenanigans with Pricia. Well, not really much else to say. This card is amazing. And then I am going to cover the sideboard because, again, we played with the sideboard. So 3 Gale Forces can be very good in the mirror, especially against Jack Giant, because you just like kill their Jack with Gale Force before it gets to hit stuff. And then you can also use this against Turbo Feasting or Fox. 3 Burn to Cinders, excellent in control games, especially if they're playing Abduls. This is also really good against Death and Taxes, and it is J-Ruler hate. 2 additional Keen Senses for if we're playing against the control matchup. When you play against control, Izanagi's pretty dead, so you'll sideboard out the Izanagis and bring in and you'll also pull out Regalia usually, because you kind of want to punish them for trying to kill your Pricia, because you're just not going to flip Pricia very much. So Keen Sense is excellent for that. An additional Wind Secluded Refuge to protect again in the grind game. A Heavenly Gust can be very helpful, especially in mirrors or against like Turbo Feasting to just steal all the Regalia, and then you can make Izanaki stick and steal a bunch of stuff, which is excellent. 3 Mariabella, the Machine Hearted. This is kind of your win con when you switch to this kind of heavy control package. She just becomes brutal with like repeatable cancel spells and all kinds of stuff, especially when you compare it with Fox. And you start like cycling stones with Pricia, get all her counters, give her swiftness, plus she's a 10/10, so she can put a lot of pressure on board. And then 2 more Frigs to back up the Frig in main. Spinning Myths plus Frig and a Frig in Grave equals this kind of infinite cycle. You can cast Spinning Myths, get a Frig, get a Stone, grab this, and then Frig triggers. You can grab the Frig and the Spinning Myths from the grave and bring them back to your hand. Plus it helps you recycle your Wind Secludeds, your Keen Senses, your Mariabellas, whatever you need. So in a control game when you're trying to play this grind, especially if you won game 1, Frig is really, really strong. So there you have it, guys. That is the list. Let me know what you guys think on my take on Pricia. I personally really enjoy it. I went 6-2 with this. With my build was a little bit different. At GP Ohio, my only losses were to a mirror and to running out of time in game 3. But those are just things that happen in the card game. So the deck, you might think it bricks, but if you practice the deck a lot, especially with Firefox, the deck like barely ever bricks. But let me know what you guys think. If you think this blended idea is a waste of time, or if you wouldn't want to try it, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this is DMO73 signing off.